start in about 5 minutes. Holy cow. I set up a little recording booth in my room, and I didn't think it would be so hot. For some reason, it's hotter than the closet. Anyway, we will start in a minute. One watching, and that is me. Okay. Yeah, we'll put chat overlay. I think it works. We'll find out. No, we still working. There we go. Yips. We'll give it directly until 11. Oops.
Welcome to Madame Raven's This Way to the Library.
Oh, this does not bode
She's
well.
been expecting you.
This does not bode well at all. Welcome, my darlings. This is not off to a start, but we will give it our best. If it breaks down like last time, I am so sorry. Quick note, hopefully the premiere will be up tomorrow for the finale. There is a small hitch that's my fault, but I am planning on it. If not, it will be up Thursday. I will have more information soon. Anyway, yeah, okay. Here we go. I found a charming old book about Christmas and folklore and all sorts of stuff. It was compiled by various contributor Hamilton M. Mabel and was released 100 years ago, I believe, in 1921. Release date. Well, that's when it was released on Gutenberg. It's just a few weeks ago, but let's see. 1909. Okay. So we're close. Holiday saints, customs and beliefs. That's what I'm interested in. Let's see. Folklore. That's the one I wanted to start with. Folklore of Christmastide. This is fun. It's a list of different folklores. Oh my gosh. Different folklore. This book is British, so most of the stuff will be of that nature. Scottish folklore has it that Christ was born at the hour of midnight on Christmas Eve, and that the miracle of turning water into wine was performed by him at the same hour. There is a belief current in some parts of Germany that between 11 and 12 at the night before Christmas, water turns to wine. In other districts, as in Bielefeld, it is on Christmas night that this change is thought to take place. Has anybody ever had that happen? Because I certainly haven't. This hour is also auspicious for many actions, and in some sections of Germany, it was thought that if one would go to the crossroads between 11 and 12 on Christmas Day and listen, he would hear what most concerns him in the coming year. Another belief is that if one walks into the winter corn on Holy Christmas Eve, he will hear all that will happen in the village that year. Ooh, I know a few gossips who would definitely do that. Christmas Eve or Christmas is the time when the oracles of the folk are in the best working order, especially the many processes by which maidens are wont to discover the color of their lover's hair, the beauty of his face and form, his trade and occupation, whether they shall marry or not, and the like. The same season is most auspicious for certain ceremonies and practices transferred to it from the quote unquote heathen antiquity of the peasantry of Europe in relation to agriculture and allied industries. Among those noted by Grimm are the following. I just want to say, yeah, uh, the quote unquote heathen practices were practiced by everyone and not just the peasantry. Anyway, on Christmas Eve, thrash the garden with a flail, with only your shirt on. Oh my, and the grass will grow well next year. Tie wet straw bands around the orchard trees on Christmas Eve, and it will make them fruitful. On Christmas Eve, put a stone on every tree, and they will bear the more. Beat the trees on Christmas night, and they will bear more fruit. Man, they were rough on their trees. In Herefordshire, Devonshire, and Cornwall in England, the farmers and peasantry salute the apple trees on Christmas Eve. And in Sussex, they used to wurzel, i.e., wassail the apple trees and chant verses to them in somewhat of the primitive fashion. Some other curious items of Christmas lore are as follows. Current chiefly in Germany, if after Christmas dinner you shake out your tablecloth over the bare ground under the open sky, crumwort will grow on the spot. I don't know what crumwort is. If on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve you hang a washclout on a hedge and then groom the horses with it, they will grow fat. Or you could, feed them. As often as the cock crows on Christmas Eve, the quarter of corn will be as dear. If a dog howls the night before Christmas, it will go mad within the year. I think all dogs would be mad then. If the light is let go out on Christmas Eve, someone in the house will die. Be careful of the light switches. When lights are brought in on Christmas Eve, anyone's shadow has no head, he will die within a year. If half a head, in the second half year. If a hoop comes off a cask on Christmas Eve, someone in the house will die that year. If on Christmas Eve you make a little heap of salt on the table and it melts overnight, you will die the next year, probably from rain coming in through the roof. If in the morning it remains undiminished, you will live. Why would you even put it out to know? Okay. If you wear something sewn with thread spun on Christmas Eve, no vermin will stick to you. Do vermin generally stick to people? Or are they talking about like burrs? If a shirt be spun, woven, and sewn by a pure, chaste maiden on Christmas Day, it will be proof against lead or steel. If you are born at sermon time on Christmas morning, you can see spirits. That's cool. If you burn elder on Christmas Eve, you will have revealed to you all the witches and sorcerers in the neighborhood. If you steal hay the night before Christmas and give the cattle some, they thrive. And you are not caught in any further thefts. If you steal anything at Christmas without being caught, you can steal safely for a year. If you eat no beans on Christmas Eve, you will become an ass. Your spouse would probably think you are one if... Never mind. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm having a good time, and there's probably no one in the stream. Oh, there are people in the stream. Richard and Lou. Hi, guys. Oh. Oh, Corpse Child, welcome, welcome. Nice to see you. Okay, where did I get to? Let's see. Eating beans, right? Let's see. If you eat a raw egg fasting on Christmas morning, you can carry heavy weights. But do you even lift, bro? The crumbs saved up on 3 Christmas Eves are good to give a psychic to one who is as physic to one who is disappointed. Crumbs saved 3 Christmas. So there's like crumbs that are 3 years old. That would be very disappointing. It is unlucky to carry anything forth from the house on Christmas morning until something has been brought in. That's the kind of thing my grandmother would have gone for. She was very, very superstitious. It is unlucky to give a neighbor a live coal to kindle a fire with on Christmas morning. If the fire burns brightly on Christmas morning, it betokens prosperity during the year. If it smolders, adversity. These and many other practices, ceremonies, beliefs, and superstitions, which may be read in Grimm, Gregor, Henderson, D. Gubermatis, Orton Wine, Tilt, and others who have written of Christmas, show the importance attached to the folk mind to the time of the birth of Christ, and how around its center have fixed themselves hundreds the rites of solemnities of past heathendom. Well, most of our Christmas celebrations just switched from various religions. Christmas succeeds the Saturnalia. The same time, the same number of holy days, then the master waited upon the servant like the lord of misrule. Our meats and our sports, much of them, have relation to church works. The coffin of our Christmas pies in the shape long is in imitation of the cratch. And choosing kings and queens on 12th night hath, that's how old it is. It uses the word hath. Well, maybe the person who was longer, the person who contributed that little tidbit. The hunting of the wren. I just read a book that was about that. The origin of the Christmas tree. We all know where this comes from, huh? Uh-oh. Am I breaking up again, Lou? Guys, am I breaking up? Because I know last week was a total bummer. I hope it's working. The internet was supposed to be fixed. Anyway. Origin of the Christmas tree. A Scandinavian myth of great antiquity speaks of a service tree sprung from the blood-drenched soil where 2 lovers had been killed by violence. At certain nights in the Christmas season, mysterious lights were seen flaming in its branches that no wind could extinguish. One tale describes Martin Luther as attempting to explain to his wife and children the beauty of a snow-covered forest under the glittering star-bespeckled sky. Suddenly an idea suggested himself. He went into the garden, cut off a little fir tree, dragged it into the nursery, put some candles on its branches, and lighted them, which sounds like a very bad idea. But they did it. They did it for centuries. They put candles, live fire on the tree. I think that last one was just another bit of propaganda because it does go back much farther than Christianity. It doesn't mention here, but the explanation I've given for the Christmas tree reaching England and America was because Prince Albert insisted upon it when he married Victoria, and they had their Christmases because he was from Germany where this took place. And they've got this next bit is entitled The Yule Clog. instead of the Yule log, but it is the Yule log. I don't know why they put C there. It's in all of it. Hervey, I don't know when he was or why he called it a clog. Admit the interior forms to be observed on this evening by those who would keep their Christmas after the old Orthodox fashion. The first to be noted is that of the Yule Clog, this huge block, which in ancient times and consistently with the capacity of its vast receptacle, was frequently the root of a large tree. It was the practice to introduce into the house with great ceremony and to the sound of music. In Drake's Winter Nights, mention is made of the Yule Clog as lying in ponderous majesty on the kitchen floor until each had sung his Yule song standing on its center. There it was consigned to the flames that went roaring up the chimney wide. This Yule Clog, according to Heinrich, was lighted with the branch of last year's log, which had been carefully laid aside for the purpose, and the music was to be played during the ceremony of lighting. This log appears to have been considered a sanctifying the roof tree and was probably deemed a protection against those evil spirits over whom this season was in every way a triumph. According to various superstitions mingled with the prescribed ceremonials in respect for it, from the authority already quoted on this subject, we learn that its virtues were not exacted unless it was lighted with clean hands, a direction, probably including both a useful household hint to the domestic, and it may be of a moral of a higher kind. Wash your hands, or else the fire will not tend to your desire. Unwashed hands, ye maiden, know, dead the fire through ye blow. I have no idea what's going on in my house. Okay, well, firesides well, in olden times, and every time until up to like 70, 80 years ago, let's be honest, was very important in the home. Okay. We doing good? I'm going to read about the Julenissen, what I found, because this was a big part of my childhood. My mother was Danish. But Julenissen were very important Christmas elves. I do not know how the 40 years I have been away have dealt with Julenissen in the Christmas elf of my childhood in far-off Denmark. He was pretty old then, gray and bent, and there were signs that his time was nearly over, so it may be that they have laid him away. I shall find out when I go over there next time. When I was a boy, we never sat down to our Christmas Eve dinner until a bowl of rice and milk had been taken up to the attic, where he lived, with the marten and its young, and kept an eye upon the house, saw everything ran smoothly. I never met him myself, but I know the house cat must have done so. No doubt they were acquainted, for when in the morning I went in for the bowl, there it was, quite dry and licked clean, and the cat per the corner. So being there all night, she must have seen and likely talked with him. So they're kind of brownies, house elves. Also, the Nissa was of the family, as you see, very much of it, and certainly not to be classed with the cattle. Yet they were his concern. He kept them quite quiet. Saw to it when a stableman forgot, and they were properly bedded and cleaned and fed. He was very well known to the hands about the farm, and they said that he looked just like a little old man, all in gray with a pointed red nightcap and long gray beard. He was always civilly treated, as indeed he deserved to be. But Christmas was his great holiday. When he became part of it, indeed, and was much made of it. So, for that matter, was everything that lived under the husbandman roof or within reach of it. Even the sparrows that burrowed in the straw thatch and did it no good were not forgotten. Sheaf of rye was set out in the snow for them on the holy eve, so that night at least they should have shelter and warmth unchallenged, and plenty to eat. At all of our other times, we're permitted to raid their nests and help ourselves to a sparrow roast, which was by long odds the greatest treat we had. Is there even meat on a sparrow? 30 or 40 of them dug out by the light of the stable lantern and stuffed into Anne's long stocking, which we had borrowed for a game bag made of meal for the whole family. Each sparrow a fat mouthful. Ugh. 1 second. Okay. Let's see, where were we? Each sparrow was a mouthful. Oof. Anne was the cook, and I'm very certain her pot roast of sparrow would pass muster at any Fifth Avenue restaurant as the finest dish of reed birds that ever was. However, at Christmas, their sheaf was their sanctuary, and no one as much as squinted at them. Only last winter, when Christmas found me stranded in little Michigan town, wandering desolately about the streets, I came across such a sheaf raised on a pole in a doorway and knew at once that one of my people lived in that house and kept Yule in the old way. So I felt as if I were not quite a stranger. Blowing in the Yule from the grim old tower that stood 800 years against the blast of the North Sea was one of the customs of the old town that abide. However, it fares with the Nissa, that I know, at sunup, while yet people were breakfast. The town band climbed the many steep ladders to the top of the tower, and there, in weather fair or foul, and sometimes it blew great guns from the wintry sea, they played 4 old hymns, one to each corner of the compass, so that no one was forgotten. That sounds very, very Wiccan. They have always began with Luther's sturdy challenge, "A mighty fortress is our God," while down below we listened devoutly. There was something both weird and beautiful about those faraway strains in the early morning light of the northern winter. Something that was not of earth, and suggested to my child's imagination the angel's song on far Judean hills. Even now, after all these years, the memory of it does that. It could not have been because the music was so rare, for the band was made up of the small storekeepers and artisans who thus turned an honest penny on festive occasions. Incongruously enough, I think I had too few vowels in that, but that's okay. I think the official town mourner who bade people to funerals was one of them. It was like the burglar scarred the colonel of which we thought him at least a general because of the huge brass sword he trailed when he marched at the head of the men. Was the town tailor a very small but very martial man, or whether or no, it was beautiful. I've never heard music since that so moved me. When the last strains died away, came the big bells with their deep voice that sang far out over the field and heath, and our Yule was fairly underway. By Jacob Riis in The Old Town. My dog's being annoying. He wants out and he wants in. Okay. How we doing, folks? I'm alone. It must be boring. All right. Let's see. They have Christmas carols. I gotta go back up to find what I want, don't I? Christmas customs, Christmas carols, Christmas Day, Christmas hymns, Christmas. Where is New Year? Okay, this is mostly poems. I think I might quit since everybody deserted my live stream. Anyway, I had something else about folklore. Sure. Now demands I log in to read it. I am a big fan of Terry Pratchett and his Christmas novel, Hogfather. And it's not taking me there. Let's see. Oh, no, it's not taking me there. Let me see if I can pull it up again. Everything goes wrong when you're live. Ha 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 ha. Right? Okay, here we go. This is from Hogfather, and I really should not use it, but I'm using it as a quote, so it should be fair use. And it talks about the beliefs we give children and why for these things. All right, said Susan. I'm not stupid. You're saying humans need fantasies to make life bearable. Really? As if it were some kind of pink pill? No. I think that was a Matrix reference. No, humans need fantasy to be human, to be the place where the falling angel meets the rising ape. Tooth fairies? Hogfathers? Little... Yes. As practice, you have to start out learning to believe the little lies, so we can believe the big ones. Yes. Justice, mercy, duty, that sort of thing. They're not the same at all. You think so? Then take the universe and grind it down to the finest powder, and sieve it through the finest sieve, and then show me one atom of justice, one molecule of mercy, and yet, Death waved a hand, and yet you act as if there is some ideal order in the world, as if there is some rightness in the universe by which it may be judged. Yes, but people have got to believe that, or what's the point? My point, exactly. Anyway, yes, I love that quote. We have one person here, but anyway, thank you for stopping by. If you guys can hear it again, I am hoping, and it's looking like we will have the finale of How to Survive Camping tomorrow, with any luck. If not, it will be on Thursday, and I will update you on that after I talk to the people involved. It's my daughter's birthday tomorrow, and there may be some complications with the timing. Anyway, have a wonderful Tuesday, my darlings, and thank you for stopping by.